It's so common to see layouts like this where you have an image on the left and right, you have a heading, a subheading, a bit of text, or a button. But I often find that using this fail safe method can actually hinder the impact you're trying to get. Because there's details in this image that you might overlook because you're focusing so much on the text. And often I think it might be better if you went and did something like this, where actually you used a better quality image or a bigger image and you had the text overlapping. And I want to give you just a couple of examples or three or four quick examples. And I'm going to show you how you would build them because they're really simple and easy to do. It's like an image, cover, background, and you might have a bit overlay and text. But I just want to drum home that sometimes just relying on that, you lose the impact of the image. If this website was about hiking, sightseeing, mountain climbing, or something, doesn't that draw you in? Doesn't that feel more immersive, engaging with the audience, the ideal customer? I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You get the idea, right? You'll have a parent container, and then inside of there, you probably got two child containers. Maybe your parent container is boxed, or you got full width, or whatever you got. You might have it set as a row. You might have aligned your items in the center. You got child container number one, and that might be a background image, or it might even contain an image inside of there. I mean, it's up to you, 50%. You got another child container. This is set at 50%. It's set as a column. You got your heading, your text editor, your button, and your child container might have a bit of padding on the left-hand side just to move it away a little bit. And then you go and adjust it and make it look really good on the mobile, something like that. And please excuse how big the words are. This is just an example tutorial I'm showing you. So now your image is shrunk down and it might be at the top, at the bottom, depending on how you want it to look. And like I said earlier, is the impact can get a little bit lost because you may just kind of scroll past the image in terms of your brain, in terms of what you're focusing on. And you may just focus on the text. And that might be okay because you want them to hit the call to action and go and purchase something. But what if that image is actually important? What if that can make or break the difference between someone staying on your website? And that is where I think slightly different layouts on the mobile and desktop can work better for you when you are really drumming home the power of the image. So before we had a parent container and two child containers. Well, now I've only got one parent container and just one child container. And I'm going to show you how to do this really easy. You should know this, okay? But it's just getting you to break out of the normal templates you're going to see floated around where they always have this text image or image text layout staggered effect. So all you got over here is a container. Again, full width, box width, whatever you want to do. The style of this, it's got a background image. I've set it as a cover, bottom right. I mean, I'm not going to go into the major details of this because it will all depend on your image and the focal point. The important bit, though, is the justified content. If I go and hit center, the child container that is inside of there now moves to the center. I go to the start. There's no point stretching it because it's a set size. But by putting end, I've moved it over to the right-hand side. Now, the parent container is set to be 100 VH. And by the way, there is no padding, margin, no class names, or any CSS code. The child container inside of it is set to be 45% in width. I found that worked better. 50%, it started creeping over a little bit too close to binoculars. And I've also set it to be 100 VH. If I was to just shrink this down, you can see what it's doing. Because a lot of people, they drop in a child container and then they feel like, oh, I've got to add in padding and I've got to make it big. No, if you just get it to match, you don't even have to do it over here, to be honest. You could go over to your parent container and completely get rid of it. But I find that if I'm going to do it on the child, I often like the parent to match. Again, I'm adding in extra lines of CSS in the back end coding, but it is minimal. And I really feel like you can bulletproof your layout so much better. So inside of our container, 45% width, 100 VH, set as a column. I've justified everything to be in the center. Well, now it's just heading, text, and button. I don't need to do anything fancy here. Really, I don't. If I go over to this container, we have got some padding, 100 pixels on the left and right, because obviously it will change depending on the size of your screen. But I feel like that worked quite well, having 100 over there. And then the final thing I did to this child container was go to my style tab, go to background overlay, and I just gave it a black color and I changed the opacity. I could have added in another image, which I didn't want to do because I didn't want to spoil the effect, but that was it. The parent container is set to be 100 VH. The child container is actually only set to be 65. Because if I went for 100, it now overlaps everything. Now I'm going to show you how that's actually not a bad idea sometimes, but for this example, I set it to be 65 just to push it down a little bit. And I also made sure that my parent container was now justified to be to the end. And that's all you got to do. I mean, when I look at something like this, I often see the image, but I might suddenly scroll a bit more and I start reading the text and I might look at a different image that actually was not related to the image above. That can happen when you have that kind of like, column effect in the way your items are laid out. Whereas here, I can clearly see that image relates to the text, or the text relates to the image. There is no right or wrong answer here. I really want to make that clear. Now, I'm going to give you another example. It's very similar to what we had above, but I've just swapped the image and the text around, and I've given my heading and button some color. So again, what is the focal point of this particular section I've got here? Are you focusing more on the text, or are you focusing more on the image? How much time are you giving to the image compared to the text? But what about something like that? And please excuse the fact of the text. Again, I haven't been very scientific with the words or the length of the words or the sizing I was going for or the exact text I'm using. But can you see how I feel like you are more drawn in, feels much more immersive than that? Because look at the mountain. I can make out the mountain. Great. That's brilliant. But don't you feel like you're actually there now? Well, you're not there. You're in your office or you're on a phone or a bus or whatever. But I feel like that draws you in way more. The build of this was very similar to above, 100% width. I had a minimum height of VH. I had justified to the start. So you can see what it does to the child container if I was to start messing around with that. Let's go over to the style. I got a background image. And then inside of it, I've got a child container. This is currently set to be a column again. This one is only 40% width. Again, it's 100 VH, so it stretches all the way to the top. I've positioned everything to be at the bottom. If I go to my background overlay, rather than giving it a black color, I actually picked up one of the colors in the sky. I've added that in and I've made it be a bit more 0.4 opacity, and I've added in multiply. This is what normal would look like. I didn't quite like that, so I went for multiply because it blended in a little bit better. You go and add in your heading, etc. Now, I am going to make a point about these background colors because, again, some people might look at this and think, oh, right, I can see that. You got a child container and then you got another child container possibly inside of that. This is all still one child container, all right? So this container, if we go to the advanced tab, the difference between this and the one above is there's no padding at all. The padding is all done on the individual items. So my heading, I've got 100, 100, 100 on the right, bottom, and left. So the right, bottom, and left. Nothing at the top because this child container is already set to be at the bottom, right? Justified to be at the start. It's aligned to be at the bottom. Just as a reminder, you can see it over there, okay, for the child container. So my heading, 100, 100, 100, except the top. The text editor, this has got 60, 40, 40, and 100. So 100 on the left over there to match the heading. And then I've just added in a bit of padding around it. Then what I did was I went to the background and I added in a similar color to what I've done over here, but I made it a little bit lighter and I've made it a bit transparent, and it gives me the effect as if I've got another container over there, but there's no need for the extra wrapper container. None whatsoever. Then I go over to my button. You set your button up how you want. And in the advanced tab, I've got 60 on the bottom and 100 on the left. I'm keeping the left consistent. And if we go to the background, I should point out the button is set to be full width. If I had just left it as default, that is what your button would do. So you got your padding on your left and your bottom, and then it stops, abruptly at the edge of the button. If you make it be 100%, it gives you more space to play with. If you have got your button set like that, it will look a little bit odd, but you can mess around with where you want your button positioning to be. Go to the background tab. you will now see that we've got that same color as what we had above over there. And that is going to give you a nice, slightly different effect than I'm just going to show you just as a reminder. That's what you had before. Quite standard, bog standard, right? And then you get that effect there. And I always feel like anything you can do just to be a little bit different without over complexicating your build is a pretty big thing. And on the mobile, it looks like this, because if we hadn't done this, you would have had your image at the top, your heading, your subheading or your text, and your button. You know, the bog standard layout. But again, don't you feel more drawn in looking at that? So again, a different example of how you can make things look better. And I'm just going to end up just showing you two quick other examples. I'm not going to go into how I built them because they're really not that complicated. But again, just to drum home the point I'm making, here again, we've got some text and an image. The focal point is the image, but I feel like it's slightly lost because it's blending in with the background. Whereas if you go and do something like that, say you're advertising a retreat or a location, a tour operator, a holiday, I feel like that pulls you in way, way more than just having the image sat on its own. And here's another example, and this is a common mistake with restaurants. They'll say how wonderful the restaurant is or the food or what they do there, and then they have an image of a plate or the outside of the restaurant or whatever, right? Or, you know, coffee like that. And it's just sat orphaned almost away from the text. But if you can get a good quality image or even use Canva or Adobe or whatever and expand the image to get the background, you know, clear background. Because here we got the same image and I used Canva just to match the color and give me more estate. I mean, that's not the highest quality, highest resolution image, all right? Give me a break. I'm just doing a tutorial here. But if that was high resolution or whatever, doesn't it work better when your text feels like it's part of the image rather than standalone like that? I don't know. I'd love to hear your comments. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.